I'm reading in the chat room that Slayer's overrated, by the way.
Well, they definitely have made their mark in the world of slash and heavy metal. I put them up there with Pantera as far as changing the landscape of music.
Sure. Well, they're no Deep Purple, but they definitely changed things.
Well, they did. I mean, if you think about what was going on at the time that Slayer came out in the mid 80s.
Yeah. Early 80s.
They took it up a notch.
Sure.
And then when Pantera basically made their, splash in the world, they took it up another notch or a different notch.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they are definitely very influential bands in the world of music, and as far as big influencers are concerned.
Well, that's why they're a member of the Big Four, because those four bands changed everything.
Yeah. Well, this band is one of the Big Four, but the more I see of them and hear of them and the things that they do as far as their live shows are concerned or their products are concerned or whatever, yeah. They have become pretty much the biggest pussy of the four bands, the four Big Four.
All right.
Metallica to release a children's book, The ABCs of Metallica.
Oh boy, really? Yikes. I did not see this story.
You're all my family. Welcome, my friends.
Yeah, well, that's true.
This is Happy James.
Mm-hmm. Now, is this collective as a band, or is it one of the guys?
It's got all four band members on the cover.
Jesus.
And very cartoonish looking characters.
Oh, good.
Every one of them looks about like what they would look like in a character, except for Lars. Lars kind of looks like a Superhost.
Wow.
Did you see the picture?
No.
Well, pull it up. Look for Metallica to release a children's book and look at the picture. Tell me Lars doesn't look like Superhost.
Let's see. This is just pathetic. And oh, dude, really? Hat turned sideways too? Oh.
Yeah.
Fred Durst looking Lars picture? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Poor.
And he's got hair.
Yeah, this is poor. And look at Hammett. Is that Kurt Hammett or is that Carlos Santana?
Yeah.
And what's with the James smile? Oh my God.
He's just got this. He's Happy James.
Looks like they just etched off the ape look off his face. He looks like one of the Planet of the Apes guys without the wrinkled head.
He does.
Yeah, that big dumb smile. Oh.
Yeah, he's got big thick fingers.
Why are they doing this?
Because they're Metallica, man.
That's just sad.
Set to hit the bookshelves online stores on Tuesday, the 26th of November, 2019, the ABCs of Metallica follows the history of heavy metal legends alphabetically.
Great.
Metallica themselves have co-written the book alongside Howie Abrams, the merciless book of metal lists, Hip Hop Alphabet.
Okay.
And it features illustrations by Michael Caves McLear, who participated in Metallica's Obey Your Master exhibit in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
The ABCs of Metallica's pre-order in several bundles from Metallica's official website now, and a select proceeds will go to Metallica's nonprofit charity, All Within My Hands.
Great.
Are you familiar with that at all?
I'm familiar with the charity, but
what is it?
I don't know what it goes to, but it's like every other corporate douchery. They fucking have a charity.
Well, they got a write-off is what they have.
Well, they go and they play a gig every year to raise money for it and whatnot.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's also a write-off.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like this. I mean, Metallica is like my number 2 band right behind Pantera, but this is embarrassing. This is pretty sad right here.
Well, it's skeletons of society. The night becomes the day, and the wise become the dumb, and
How much is this book?
the rich become the poor, and everything is upside down. It's Stranger Things.
It really is. This is sad.
It's all in the upside down. Introducing the book Metallica wrote, we have a new book coming out, and this time it rhymes.
Oh, great.
We got Busta James Rhymes up here on the mic. We're having a bit of fun as the ABCs of Metallica hits the shelves in online bookstores November 26th, all for great causes, which a portion of the proceeds benefiting all within my hands as we continue to support workforce education and fight against hunger.
Mm-hmm.
Including rhymes and illustrations, the ABCs of Metallica looks back at the history of the band, from A to Z.
Oh, good.
Each letter of the alphabet highlights a moment along our journey from garage days to master puppets to fun facts about us.
Mm-hmm.
The European leg of Metallica's World Wired Stadium tour continues with a homecoming for Lars Ulrich at Telia Parken in Copenhagen, Denmark tonight.
Oh, good.
Metallica played epic shows at Manchester's Etihad Stadium and London's Twickenham Stadium last month.
Okay. Should I buy this book and then we could do it? We could review it on the subscription service in November.
Well, we could have the book reading with Miss Booksy.
We could do a book read. That would be fun. We get ourselves a transgender librarian to read the book. Would you if I could line that up, would you be into doing that?
Well, why not?
Doing a book reading, and I'll get some tranny to do the book reading.
Some tranny? Do you know a tranny?
I'll pay someone. I would drop $100 to have somebody, to have some transgender fucking weirdo come here to my house and fucking read this book on our subscription service. That would be great. You don't think that'd be funny?
I think it would be funny. I just didn't know you knew anybody.
I don't, but I'll put an ad in wherever. Paper.
Are you gonna put in there tranny needed for book reading?
Yes. Tranny needed for children's book reading.
Right.
No weird sexual bullshit required.
Yeah.
Don't need to see your testicles to apply.
Yeah.
If you say you're a tranny, I'll believe you.
We just need to hear your melodious voice reading a Metallica book.
A is for and justice for all, sweetie.
Right.
I think that would be funny, don't you?
I would think so. Yeah, of course.
I think I'm going to make that work.
It would. That would definitely be one of those special feature things.
Oh yeah, it definitely would not be for. I'm not sharing that for free. Fuck no. Not if I'm going to drop $100 to fucking get some tranny over here to read it.
Of course.
I'm sure I could find a transgender person to read to us. Why not? I love this idea. I'm going to buy the book right now. I'm buying the book right now.
Yeah. Are you buying it?
I am. It's only $19.
Are you getting the hard copy?
I don't know. Getting whatever's $19. I don't know what I'm getting. I see it though. Buying it. Oh, I don't know my password. Fuck.
What happened? What happened to your band, Chris?
No, it's embarrassing. It really is embarrassing that it's come to this. But it's. I'm just gonna buy it. No, I'll just go guest checkout.
I'm getting this book.
I'm getting this fucking book. All right, $4.95, $4.75 to ship it. No, I'm going for. Yeah, I'll go for that. That's the cheapest. It's not like I needed it that day.
Yeah.
All right. continue to billing. I'm going to I'll use your suggested thing. Where's my credit card? I don't use this computer, so I don't have anything saved in this thing. Fuck. Why isn't it going to billing? There. All right, I'm going to have to buy it later. What the fuck? This piece of shit. Now it's asking me for the same information again. You cunts. Here we go. Let's put in some credit card information. Put that here. Okay. It's dun dun dun. Do that. Now this is enthralling radio, I'm sure.
Oh.
Placing the order. All right. Your cart includes a pre-order. Place order $23.74. Purchased. I have purchased the ABCs of Metallica.
Look at you.
I cannot wait to do this reading. That's going to be hysterical.
Is it autographed?
Of course not. I'm sure it doesn't. I'm sure it probably, in fairness to them, they'll throw me a sticker or some shit, I'm sure. But now I'm the official owner of the Metallica. ABCs of Metallica. All right, anyway, go ahead and read this delightful story about how my favorite band has just turned into a bunch of mushy pussies.
Well, that's it. That's the end of the story.
Well, that's enough. That's enough to know that's just sad. It really is sad. First they give me a bad concert, and now this.
Yeah, they're the family band.
I hate that.
They're the minivan driving band now.
Yeah, they really are. They really are. Hello, friends. Good to see you. Oh, you're 9? Come on up on stage. Sing with the band. We love you. We love you, friend. Ugh. Good God.
Dave in Philly writes, Eddie, I'm sure you've told this story before, but I want to know what caused the friction between you, Paul Stanley, and Gene Simmons.
Oh, my God.
This stuff is endless with me in this show.
Yeah, that's because you perpetuate it. That's why, Eddie.
Yeah, how about this? The answer, Ed, I'm not trying to tell you how to do radio. You are obviously the king here, Ed. But the answer is, I've answered it numerous times. Moving on.
Yeah.
Next caller. He doesn't have to revisit it. Next caller. How about this? It's an email, for fuck's sake. Don't read it.
Yeah.
He knew that. He wanted to talk about it.
Of course he does.
Jesus. All right.
It really is. Does it go all the way back to you signing Ace as a solo artist in the early 80s, or is it more recent with your comments about Spaceman and Catman stand-ins and lip syncing? I can't imagine being in your position now with the access to artists that you have and being in a nasty feud with the band that you worshipped since you were 18. It's a real shame. Dave in Philly. Dave, thank you for your note. How can I even begin
What was that?
That's that whole arduous task. You know, I got to take this on. This is just as very painful for me to have to talk about this.
Was that him welling up?
Yeah, he's like hemming and hawing at the mic just to. Exactly, the rev.
Dave, thanks for your note. This is a painful one for me, Dave, but I'm going to try and explain it to you the best I can. I just hope that you understand the physical pain this is putting me through, Dave.
The gravity of this, the gravity is it's like the weight of the world on my shoulders.
Dave, this is a painful one for me to say, but because you're such a good fan, I'm going to do it one more time for you. But just know, Dave, that it really hurts. What an ass. Jesus Christ.
Talk about the theater of the mind here.
Oh my God, what is with the heavy breathing?
Here we go.
Or 18. It's a real shame. Dave in Philly. Dave, thank you for your note. How can I even...
It's that pain coming up from the bottom of his lower intestine all the way up.
I think I shat my shorts.
Dave. God. Come on, Ed. It's a fucking band. You know 1,000 of them.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
Begin to tear this apart for you in a nutshell without taking on too much of the show and being completely honest. First of all, it has nothing to do with me signing Ace back in the 80s. I think it does have something to do with the fact that erroneously I am viewed by them as being the original lineup only, Ace and Peter guy only, which couldn't be further from the truth, given that I supported and loved all the lineups and eras of Kiss without makeup throughout the 80s into the 90s and on and on and on. And really, you say friction between Paul and Gene. There is no friction with Gene. Gene has told me that. I know that for a fact. Gene is not able to do interviews with me because Paul will not allow it, and Paul runs Kiss.
Period.
God damn it. First of all, I don't believe that for a minute. Do you really? I mean, I do believe that Paul runs Kiss, but let's be real. Do you think that Gene, Mr. I'll do anything to make money, do you think he really didn't do an interview with Eddie for the Vault because Paul told him not to?
No, I don't believe that for a minute.
I don't believe that for 1 second either. No way. He was talking to anybody and everybody.
Hell, he even let Vinnie Vincent up on his stage.
What I'm saying. You know, Paul wouldn't do that. Sure, Paul didn't endorse that move. Good Lord. All right.
Maybe one of the biggest misconceptions out there is that Gene Simmons runs Kiss. He does not. Paul Stanley makes the decisions and runs Kiss. Eric Singer even said that not long ago in a recent interview. Gene, I know for a fact, would talk to me and debate all of my positions if it wasn't going to piss off his partner. So the issue is not with Gene. The issue is with Paul. What is the issue? The last time I ever spoke to the man, I said to him, let's sit down and talk about this like adults. And he walked out a back door, and that was it. It was at one of his art gallery shows, and it was a number of years ago. And you're right, it is a bizarre irony that a band that was so important to me and that I love so much, and by the way, Paul Stanley was always my favorite member, is the one band that won't deal with me or talk to me because of opinions that I have.
Because you're so dangerous.
Yeah, scary.
He's dangerous.
Eddie Trunk could end the Kiss empire. That interview with Eddie could end everything.
Right.
Better look out.
Yeah.
And this has gone on for a long time, and I never quite knew where the triggers were and what caused it and what it was about. I do have a pretty good idea now, but over time and over history, there had been these flare-ups and things that had happened, and then things that got smoothed over, and then the next thing you know, he had heard something that wasn't even true, and then that was a flare-up. I mean, there's one story I'll never forget where he was at my terrestrial radio station in New York City where I do a music show, and he recorded a really nice liner for me. You know, one of those things like, "Hi, this is Paul Stanley, and you're listening to." And in it, he called me his loyal friend and fan. And this was after just a few months ago, him having a problem with me.
Well, that obviously means something, because people don't ever cut IDs that are bullshit. You don't have half a dozen IDs in your catalog that say "my good friend Neely" from guys that you met one time and never saw again.
Pretty much.
You know, what was the name of that band? Mockingbird or Hummingbird or something?
Yeah.
Whatever that band was, they all said they loved you. Have you heard from them since?
No, they had like 2 records, and then of course they were gone.
Yeah, but yet their ID is like, "You're listening to my good friend Neely."
Right.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Killing Bird. Yeah. And where'd they go? You haven't heard from them since.
Nope.
Your good friend. Shut up. That's what people say in IDs. Come on. Try again, Ed. It's like he knows his audience is stupid, so he says stupid things.
Right.
Because they won't call him on it.
Of course.
I mean, come on. Everybody's heard. Look, if you've heard, let's just pick an artist. Whoever your favorite artist is, Doc.
Mm-hmm.
Doc's a show staple here. Don will say, "You're listening to my good friend Neely and Chris on the and Millie, we're friends with them."
Yeah.
But you know what? He also says it on the other 50 fucking interviews that he does a year.
Sure.
Says the exact same thing. "You're listening to my good friends, Red and Jerry. You're listening to my good friends over at Talk to Me." Meanwhile, he's never heard Talk to Me, and he'll never talk to Josh Toomey again. You know? I mean, that's just the reality of it. That's what IDs are. They're just fucking.
It's just some way to show some credibility for the host that interviewed you or whatever.
It's just a subtle way to tie the music to the local so that it feels in your local town like it's your band.
Right.
That's all it is. That's fucking Doc and they're playing. Those guys love it here in Duluth, or whatever. That's all they're doing. The good friends. If that's the case, then everybody we've ever met is good friends with us.
Of course.
Our good friend Joel from Airborne. Doesn't he do a good friends one?
Yeah, I think he does.
He's a good friends one too. Hey, you're listening to my good friend Neely on the Classic Metal Show. It's me, Joel from Airborne. Fuck out of here. When's the last time you heard from Joel from Airborne? Second record?
Never met the guy.
Yeah, never met him once. Haven't even talked to him in fucking 4 albums. Get the fuck out of here with this nonsense.
All right.
And then I heard that, which I did not ask for that, and I went to his art show and went to say hi to him, and he gave me attitude again. So I don't know what the guy hears and what the issue of the week is sometimes. I really don't. Well, I do know this. By his own admission, he is an incredibly sensitive guy. If you read his book, he's been in therapy for it for many, many, many years, among other things, by his own admission. So when you're dealing with people like that, you don't really know what the trigger is going to be. And unfortunately, you can't have an opinion differing from what they want to sell you at that time. And because I have a strong opinion and because I have a strong platform and base of people that listen to me, and because I have independent thought and have an opinion and respect other opinions, that opinion does not fall in line with what they are selling on any given day all the time. And because of that, I am painted as an enemy. It doesn't matter that 95% of what I've done and said has been positive and supportive for decades, because it just takes one thing and you are off the train. And that's just the way it is with him. And it's unfortunate. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't expect him to like some of the things I've said, because, again, it's not stuff they want out there. And if you watch, Kiss does interviews very strategically with nobody that's ever going to push them or ask tough questions. They like to do things like going on CNN, where they can have a host talk to them that knows nothing truly about rock music and reads the bio and reads the one sheet, lets them spout off to sell what they want to sell on that appearance and move on. And that's not what I do.
Because you're so dangerous.
Well, I do agree with this point there, but it still leads to the other point. If I'm going to use his train analogy, if he's been kicked off the train, why is he still talking about the fucking train? And look, I'll bring up, and this is going to be a very rare time that I'm going to mention this band, a very rare time. But we had a problem with Iced Earth.
We did.
And it was a bad problem. And it was a problem that litigation was threatened with. We had an issue with them. So what did we do? We stopped talking about Iced Earth.
And stopped playing them.
And stopped playing them. And if I'm not mistaken, right now is probably the first time we have mentioned that band in at least 10 years.
True.
I don't think we've ever mentioned them one other time. You guys have heard me with the Frozen Dirt joke every once in a while, but I've never said the band name. Ever. Because the band doesn't like us. We don't especially like them. We moved on. We got off the train. And fair enough. They can go do whatever they do, and that's cool. And we're going to do whatever we do, and that's cool. And that's it. And it's clear that they don't want nothing to do with you. So you know what? Don't have nothing to do with them. Move the fuck on. Struggling today.
What did you take a nap after your Twitter war?
I think I woke up to have the little Twitter war. And
so you slept before the Twitter war.
Dude, I'm going to tell you, I've been in bed since last night when I texted you.
Oh yeah.
I didn't get up at all. I'm fucking so hungover. I'm still hungover. It's 24 hours later.
Really? You tied it on at the Queensryche last night?
I drank a lot.
Really?
I drank a real lot. It just, you probably can't relate to this, but I know many of the drunken assholes in our audience can. There's just times when you start drinking and it just tastes so good. And you just keep them coming and just keep them coming. And that was me last night. It was, we went to the Wing Warehouse, which is right by the MGM where Queensryche was playing.
That's on the north end of the parking lot.
Yeah. Well, we got there at 5:15 for an 8 o'clock show.
All right. So you got there little less than 3 hours ahead of time.
Yeah. And I ordered it. First, it was just me and Kelly, and then John showed up, and then our friend Joe showed up as well. Not Joe Cleon, a different Joe, although we did see Joe Cleon.
All right.
But so when Kelly and I got there, we just sat down and both got a drink. I just got a beer. She gets her normal, her Jack and water. And I mean, this beer might as well have been Scarlett Johansson's pussy juice. It was so tasty and so perfect, and so the right temperature of cold, and then it was just on from there. It just went right down, and then it was like, all right, let's start doing shots.
You know what it tasted like?
What's that?
It tasted like another.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it, man. But oh my God, it just was on from there. It was just shot after shot after shot after shot after shot. I mean, I picked up the bill, and it was $170, I think, for the just for the drinks before the show.
I hear you. Well, I could understand that.
You know, so they were going smooth. We had, I don't know, 9-10 drinks, whatever there. And then we go to the whatchamacallit, the Roxino.
Yeah, the MGM.
The MGM. And at the MGM, we're having more drinks. Now I've switched to Jack and Cokes. Had a couple of those. And then after the show, then we went back over to the bar and had another drink over at the bar.
Nice.
And I was still home by 11.
So you got your drank on.
I really did. I threw down quite a bit of booze last night.
Well, there you go. It's been a while since you've done that, hasn't it?
It has been, and I think that's why I feel like shit today, because I mean, I know it's the big myth that I'm always drinking or whatever, but I'm really not. I don't, when I drink, but for the most part, I don't drink, like even during the show anymore. I don't drink beers during the show. I drink coffee or water or whatever.
I know. I noticed. I think that's probably a tribute to the uptick in the show and the goodness of it.
Well, you don't think it was good when I was showing up every week hammered and getting the worst?
No, it was good, but it's even better now.
When I was chasing, remember the one night I was chasing some rot gut whiskey with wine?
Wow.
That was like early in the divorce process, but I had a bottle of wine sitting right here, and I was drinking the wine, and then I was chasing it or going the other way. I had this rot gut fucking whiskey, and I mean, it was some shit.
Was it Jesse James Dupree bourbon whiskey?
I think it was maybe one step above that, but which is barely a step above warm piss.
Right.
But I was drinking that and then chasing it with, remember, it was Barefoot wine. It was shit wine too. It was.
Oh yeah, it's inexpensive wine. Yeah, I mean, Barefoot isn't terrible wine. It's just inexpensive.
Yeah, it's what, $4 for a gallon?
What gallon? But yeah, I mean, there are various Barefoot products, but I mean, it's not real expensive stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I kind of just stopped. I mean, if I do a drinking show with John, that's one thing. But when it's me and you, I need to be a little more
sharp.
Well, what it really was coming down to, and I guess maybe it's just age, was that I was getting to the 2:00 hour, and I was just like, "Fuck this! I'd rather go to bed." And I listened back to some of the segments, and you'd be like reading some segment, I'd be like, "Mm-hmm, yep."
I'm ready to close my eyes now.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Eye in the clock going, fuck, 2:25. Can I make it 35 more minutes?
Right.
Fuck, 2:27. Can I make it 33 more minutes? So yeah, I quit drinking during the show about 1.5 years ago, I guess.
Right.
And I think I've had one beer since during the show, but I don't drink like at home. Like I know a lot of people, like you do. You have a cocktail every now and then at home.
Yeah, of course. I mean, but and I do during the show. I mean, after the first hour, I start having a couple cocktails. Probably from the time from like the 10 o'clock Eastern hour, I probably have 1 an hour until the end of the show. So I probably have 5 during the show.
Yeah. See, I can't do that. And I especially can't do that in real life, because in real life, if I start drinking, even if it's here at home, I ain't stopping. Just like last night. Just like last night. Last night, I mean, I should have been a little more responsible, had 2 or 3 drinks, gone, enjoyed the show, come home. No, instead it's got to be 10 to 15 going down my fat gullet.
Right.
You know, I have zero. I am a total alcoholic that just doesn't violate it as much as I used to, I guess. You know, but yeah, I can't drink at home. I can't socially have a beer watching a baseball game sitting on my couch. That's impossible to me.
You can't stop.
No, exactly. I mean, dude, when you don't really drink beer, but like when you drink wine,
yeah,
you go and you buy something that tastes good.
Yeah.
But when I go to buy beer or alcohol or something, I never buy like the regular serving bottle ever. If I go to buy beer, I buy the 30 pack. If I go to buy Jack Daniels, I buy the $75 bottle of it. It's fucking way big.
Yeah.
You know, if I was to buy wine, I'd buy it in the big jug. You know, I don't even think on those terms of.
Yeah, you go for quantity, not quality.
Like, you know, I have friends they'll like hit the store on the way home from work and grab a 6-pack. That is foreign language to me. I can't even imagine. I can't imagine saying, all right, I'm going to have a couple beers tonight and only having 6 in the fridge.
Right.
That is, all that means is that I'm going to drive half drunk to go get more. That's all that means, is that I will jump in my car after downing a 6-pack and running to the store to get more.
Yeah.
And there better be a drive-through, because God damn it, I'm not going in.
Right. Well, there was years ago when I lived in an apartment, there was a guy that lived right next to me, and he drove one of those little Chevy Love pickup trucks, you know, one of them small ones, one of those small Chevys.
Uh-huh.
And every single day he came home from work, had a case in the bed of the truck.
Oof.
A case every night.
He knocked it out every night by himself?
By himself.
Oof.
You know, but yet somehow he got up and went to work the next morning, and then same thing, roll into the driveway about 5 or 5:30, had a case in the back, and I'd see him out the window, you know, I'd hear him pull up, because this was, you know, one of those where the door to the apartment just walks right out onto the sidewalk.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Well, he lived right next to me, so I couldn't help but hear his little truck pull up, and I'd look out the window, and sure enough, reach in that bed and pull out his case. You know, he'd always drink Heinekens.
Right.
You know, so every single night.
Well, dude, I mean, you've really probably never done it. You've never gone and worked drunk, have you?
No, of course not.
You know, it's really not that hard.
Well, see, the thing is I've always been in a position to where I was either operating equipment or supervising people, or, you know, whatever. And especially, you know, I've had a CDL since 1991.
Yes, it can.
And if you're going to keep that CDL, you cannot fuck up. You
right.
know? And I've never driven drunk, so that's never been an issue. But, you know, as far as being responsible and going to work, and, you know, I've never, you know, the thing is even in the 20 years you've known me, you've never seen me obliterated.
Never. I've seen you once buzzed up real good on the show,
yeah,
and that's it.
I was buzzed once. Yeah, I was in a very celebratory mood. That was like 2006.
Yep.
So that was like 13 or 14 years ago.
Right.
You know, but as far as being buzzed, that's probably the only time you knew of that ever happening.
That is I can't think of another time.
Yeah. So yeah, the drinking is not my thing. I do enjoy a couple of drinks, but I'm not like an excessive guy. Just a couple and I'm done.
Yeah, you're definitely you're a responsible, like everything else in your damn life. You're a responsible fucking person.
Well, we've got a show of 24 years to show for it.
Yeah. Well, that's it.
And we've got nice equipment. We've got you know, the best of the best when it comes to you know, being able to broadcast over the internet, or you know, everything we do is top flight.
Sure.
And we wouldn't be able to do that if you or I didn't have some sense of responsibility.
Yeah. Well, that's Even when I'm a drunken idiot, I still work. That
Yeah.
is, that's a factor of. I mean, music's bottom line, dude. I did that magazine and stayed drunk. That was my Friday and Saturday every single week, and Sunday was. It would get to Friday. I'd finish my workload from my day job. I would come home with a bottle of Jack Daniels and a case of beer, and I would just drink for like 48 straight hours.
I'm not surprised you were able to do that, being in the married situation you were in. I mean, didn't your former wife blow you some shit for doing that?
You know what? She probably did, but I was drunk, so I didn't care.
So I hate to break the news to you, Chris, but that song's already 40 years old.
Well, it's still good.
Well, I'm not saying it's not a good song. It's just like we look at Bobby Kimball today and trying to sing those songs. It's like, yeah, you sang that 40 years ago.
Yeah, but now he's like, hold the line.
Exactly.
Love is always on time.
Exactly.
Whoa. Sounds awful now.
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh,
all right. Well, getting back to my Chicago story.
Okay.
So I went to the theater and I'm all settled in and Danny Seraphin and his band comes out and they start playing their Chicago tunes.
Right.
Well, right about that time, I had texted you, said enjoy your Queensryche show.
Right, sure.
And you text me back 25 or 6 to 4 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And because my sister is going to go see Leonid and Friends at the MGM next week.
Right.
On Thursday.
Okay.
I was just taking like 1 minute videos of a couple of the songs just to, give her an idea what she's in for.
Right.
Well, while I was sitting there, your show was over.
Yeah.
And then John started texting me.
Okay.
And he was commenting on last week's show and how good your chemistry and my chemistry are and that, this and that. He just was texting me. He's like, you and I ought to do a show together and, all this kind of stuff,
Right.
So I'm sitting there because, to be honest with you, as much of a, legend as Danny Seraphin was with Chicago.
Yeah.
The set was just mediocre. It was average.
Okay.
So I'm sitting there texting. Now, mind you, I'm in the last row of the theater and I'm back by the theater doors that go out to the bar area.
And you're on an end.
Yeah. And I'm on the end.
Okay.
So people are walking back and forth in and out of the theater. So they're opening up the theater doors. And every time they open up the doors, the light from the bar area is shining in.
Mm-hmm.
So while I'm texting with John, I answer his text and stuff. This old man who's sitting next to me.
Mm-hmm.
Now let me describe this crowd to you first.
Okay.
This crowd, obviously Chicago is a 50-year-old band.
Right.
And so a lot of the fans are older people, people in their 60s, maybe even into their 70s. Lot of pleated khaki pants and muumuus.
A lot of walkers.
A lot of walkers, khaki pants, muumuus, bald heads.
Extra chair bought for oxygen tank.
More or less, yeah. so the it's the Buick driving, minivan driving crowd that was there.
Right.
So obviously I kind of stick out like a sore thumb.
Right.
So while I'm texting with John, back and forth with him, the old man next to me, he whips out his cell phone and he gives me the elbow in the side of my arm to get my attention.
Yeah.
And he goes, and he has a cell phone and he's got the screen on.
Okay.
And he goes, see this? And I said, what, your Android phone? And he goes, yeah. He says it's annoying. I said, you can't afford an iPhone? And he said, I'm trying to watch the show and it's just really annoying. And I said, well, maybe you shouldn't have bought a ticket next to me then.
Yeah. Shut the fuck up, Pops.
That's what I basically said.
Yeah, fuck you.
That's what I said. Well, maybe you shouldn't have bought a ticket next to me.
Yeah. Round up your fat wife and move it.
So he just kind of grumbled to himself and didn't say anything,
Good. Fuck him.
That's basically the attitude I had.
Meanwhile, if you would have stood 6 inches behind him, he'd have been fine. So go fuck yourself.
Well, my point is that anybody who walked in and out of the theater, every time they opened up the theater door, the light from the entrance area was way brighter than my phone.
Maybe he couldn't handle the glare off his 200 edition bifocals. Fucking idiot. Shut up. Shut the fuck up.
Well, he didn't say a goddamn word to me the rest of the time.
You should have punched him in his fucking old face. Fuck you, old man. Unless the band, like, I'll give you, here's, and it's weird because I hate when cell phones are in front of my face too. I'm not going to lie.
But I wasn't in front of his face. I was to the side of him.
Yeah, so he can go fuck himself. But, unless, if the band announces it for the show, it's one thing. Like when I went to Benatar, they announced right before the show to turn your fucking phones off. Fair enough. They said they don't want phones. We turned our phones off. Notice I didn't shoot any video of Pat Benatar.
Okay.
Always shoots video of everything. I shot no video of Pat Benatar.
Right.
Because they said turn your phones off. But if they don't, then go fuck yourself.
Right.
This Pops, just because the phone in your house fucking still has a rotary dial on it, fuck you. Old fucking queer. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. So, but he had no problem with the rest of his family making him get up and get down and get up and get down every time they had to get up and leave to go to the bathroom or get a drink or whatever.
Why would he? He was paying for his drinks with his fucking welfare check or his Social Security.
But my little cell phone screen was an issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I just thought it was funny when I just played it off like he was showing me his Galaxy.
Yeah. Go fuck yourself, old Pops. Jesus
right.
Christ. Go jump in your LeBaron and drive into the lake. Fucking idiot.
You get a little louder now. I said, are you ready to try?